we have two of the most complete linebackers in the NFL on the field. It's Navarro Bowman going up against Bobby Wagner. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And out of bounds there on the kick. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So from the 40 to the 45, 5-yard run. Earl Thomas in on the stop. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Second and 5. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And a cut to the right and some open field here. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 20. A 2-yard line. So the D-line's going to spread out. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
We're waiting.
Now Wilson on first down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
6 yards to go here on second down.
4 down, check, 4 down. All right, move the team.
Now Wilson on second down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. That'll bring up second down. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
And the D looking like they may blitz. Second and 10, it's Wilson again. A screen complete to Crowell. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Shift together here from the D-line. On first down, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On second down, here's Wilson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jermaine Kearse, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, here's Dree Archer. Oh, he shifts past him. There he goes left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Dree Archer, 87 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
Well, partner, anytime you see a big-time kickoff return, especially one that ends up in the end zone for a touchdown, that's probably the most exciting 10 seconds in the great game of football.
I think it was our friend Ed Brady that told us that one day. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Lambo on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
A handoff as they run the counter play. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On play action, it's Kaepernick. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
incomplete. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But one of the things you like about a zone read play that has an option component to it is that it gives you plenty of different ways to go. On this one, though, I'm not sure they chose the right one. Maybe they should have pitched it out on this one because that play was absolutely swallowed up.
So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Single. Check three.
On 2nd down, Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the interception, here's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now Wilson on second down, going underneath for Crowell. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's got Curse. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A first down carry now for Crowell. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. On second down, here's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Finding time. A little dump off for Crowell. And Crowell lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he'll cut it to the left sideline. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So the D-line's going to spread out. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball, and that didn't happen on that play.
He's got time in the pocket. He's going to float this one deep right. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. From the gun, it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well. So what you're saying is, if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it? Absolutely. And he's got it up and through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised. Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Let's get out of there. They'll come out in the pistol.
Check safety, check safety. Watch safety creeping. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. 19. Shift.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson trying to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no? I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up
and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
The grab made by Kearse over the middle. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on him. Fielded at the 43. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Now it's Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He got 29 yards that time.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Lambeau to add on the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Where's 52? Like 52. 52.
They go play action here on 1st down. Backing up. He's going to launch this thing way down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Wilson going to throw for it. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion. And now we're back to a 1-score game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And, oh, he kicked it out of bounds. That's a big penalty.
And this is where the rest of the team turns and stares at the kicker and says, you have one job. Execute it.
And now here's a carry heading left. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Fresh set of downs here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Little motion now from the tight end. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A good pickup there, a 22. They're going to hurry back to the line now. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive. And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st down, Wilson surveying the field. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Let's go. Keep it, team. Motion.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now it's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Wilson. Deep drop. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. From the gun, it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. A gain of 6 there on first. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On second down, Wilson. Buying time to his left. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd and short.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So Wilson will head to the sideline, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that you needed 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll need to get the ball back.
So, Brandon, the question is, how do you accomplish that? You can onside kick it, but remember, since you've got all 3 timeouts, you can still kick it deep and try to play defense.
This is taken near the 13. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but and now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Oh, Kaepernick's going to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 4. Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Back to throw. Kaepernick. Hard throw. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Back to throw. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know, they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And the dreaded third and long here for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. One last shot for Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair. Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot. So for San Francisco, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.